Our region's been on the cutting edge of software engineering and cybersecurity for most of a generation, yet every employer, big and small, needs to be on the alert every single day for what's already out there. Coming up next month, the African American Chamber of Commerce of Western Pennsylvania is setting out to make it all more understandable for all of us. The Chamber is presenting a program featuring Dr. Diana Burley, co-principal investigator and research director for the National Cyber Watch Center. Dr. Burley, also a professor in the Graduate School of Education and Human Development at the George Washington University, joins us today. She's here with Doris Carson-Williams, president of the Chamber. Welcome. Good to have you both here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and I guess for you, Dr. Burley, this is a welcome home as well, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Raised in Pittsburgh, graduated from Gateway High School.
Gateway High School, yes. And Carnegie Mellon as well.
Carnegie
so
Mellon
you've got the whole trifecta there.
Yes.
That's great. And coming back, to really dig into this issue around computer security, which is such a big deal. Have you been involved in that pretty much your whole career?
Most of it. I would say I've been involved in cybersecurity for about 15 years, maybe a little bit more, since my graduate school days at Carnegie Mellon. Yes. Looking at everything from workforce issues to how to secure your workplace environment.
Wow. Well, and a big issue, and I guess an ever growing issue, Doris, is that why the African American Chamber decided to organize something for its members?
Precisely. Our members have had some issues come up, and as we all read the paper and hear on the news about cybersecurity attacks on businesses, it's impacting small businesses, and many of them are not prepared. And I thought this would be a wonderful opportunity not only for small business owners to be exposed to what's happening, but to learn more about how they can protect their firms.
I wonder, is it something of a hard sell? We hear about the big attacks, right? You'll hear about a Target or one of the big national retailers. Are mid-sized and smaller businesses more complacent than they should be?
They are. They think that, well, I'm not a household name. Who wants to attack me? What do I have that would be of interest? So it's difficult to get them to pay attention, but they really are a strong target, and over the last several years have become increasingly so.
And why is that? Why would anybody want to go after a smaller mid-sized business?
The data. I mean, they have data on their customers, all that personal information that they have. They have resources that hackers can steal, and often they have connections through their systems with larger retailers through subcontracts where they can get access, where hackers can get access to those larger businesses through the small businesses.
Well, now that you mention that, I remember one of those big attacks against a major national retailer, the Gateway was actually one of their suppliers, their systems, right?
That's right, the Target system, it came through one of their contractors. Yes.
So that's not, and Doris, I take it you think this is not something that's front and center across your membership?
I don't think they have focused on it from a small business owner's perspective. They see what's happening and they're worried about protecting their credit card information when they go to these big box stores. But this will get them to focus on it for their business purposes as well. So when you find out that something's happened to your website, as one of our members found out recently, and had to shut down the system for a day, it can attack a small business owner and really cripple their operations if they're not prepared and have the right infrastructure in place.
I hadn't thought about that. The stakes for a small business are maybe higher in some ways because you have much less capacity to withstand the attack and recover from it.
That's right. They don't have the resources. Their reputations are often harder to keep or to get back, and so it really does raise the stakes for the small businesses.
So what kinds of things you're going to cover in the event coming up next month?
Well, I'm going to talk about some of the basics, right? So that as people are listening to all of the news stories about the attacks, to really take them through what an attack is like, why people will come and try to infiltrate their systems, and then what can they do about it? How do they assess their risk as a small and medium-sized business, and what do they do? What are their next steps to protect themselves?
And this is coming up in October,
October
right?
7th.
Yeah.
It'll be at Manchester Bidwell Corporation, and those that attend will have an opportunity to receive a copy of Dr. Burley's book.
And we've got the book right here. Let's see, it's Enterprise Software Security, A Confluence of Disciplines.
Yes.
So might as well get a plug in. What's the book all about?
Absolutely. The book is about how to secure your enterprise and recognizing that you have to think about security from the very beginning.
Okay,
yes.
I got to ask you too, because in your intro, you're involved in all this cybersecurity, the National Cyber Watch Center, but you're also a professor in the School of Education and Human Development at GW.
Yes.
What does one have to do with the other?
Well, I do a lot of work related to developing the cybersecurity workforce. How do we get people who are in school right now into the workforce? How do we help people transition from non-cybersecurity related fields into cybersecurity careers? So all of that work is what I focus most of my time.
Well, that's got to be critically important. I mean, we hear all the time from employers in the region that finding great IT talent is just a never-ending task, sort of for all levels of IT capability. But when you're getting into cybersecurity, that's got to be even more challenging to
It
find
is
great
very
people.
challenging, and national estimates are upwards of 10 million people that we need for the cybersecurity workforce, so we have a lot of work to do.
All right, listen to that. Young people everywhere all over the region. 10 million job opportunities emerging throughout the country. Well, Dr. Diana Burley from GW and Doris Carson-Williams from the African American Chamber, thank you both so much. Everybody should turn out next month to hear more about it. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next up, Pittsburgh's in pants all over Europe. We'll tell you why when our Region's Business returns. Stay with us.